Hey everybody, it's Joe again with another BAM box. This is February, the February box. It's the Geek box. A little bit about me. I am a pop culture enthusiast. I love it. I collect it. I regularly write about it. I do comics. I write articles. However, a while back, I was challenged, like all good challenges start, over a drink, to get these boxes from BAM and see what I know and whether or not I can get stumped by the items inside. I rarely get stumped. Sometimes the horror ones stump me. But this box, I think I know the franchises, so I should not be stumped. So if you have this box, I can tell you a little bit about what's in it, I hope, and the background. If you like the items in this box, I'm sure they are available at your local eBay or other secondary markets. And if you just like pop culture trivia, this might be a thing you might be interested in. So let's get started. This is the box. Once again, we start with the brilliant BAM paper. Now, this is not available on the secondary market, but most unboxings spend a large amount of time talking about it, so I feel like I should as well. I guess we can start with the prop. I recognize it, although I think it's from The Witcher. I'm not sure if it's from the TV show or the video game. But what do I know about The Witcher? I recently read The Witcher, so let me think about this. It's a Polish novel series. It started as a Polish novel series. I think there's like 5 or 6 books and then a bunch of short stories in 2 books. It's Polish, and it's the Wiedźmin is The Witcher in Polish. It's by it's Sapkowski is his last name. I don't know his first name. I think Andre or something, Sapkowski. It tells the story of Geralt of Rivia, who's the Witcher. He has all these supernatural powers. I actually just said I read it. I actually read 2 of them. I read The Sword of Destiny and The Last Witch, which are the 2 short stories that are books that are related to the Netflix show. I know it was also Dark Horse Comics that I vaguely recall reading. And then I know that I had seen somewhere, because one of the short stories said it actually was a movie and a TV show called The Hexer, which I heard was not very good, but I haven't actually seen it. Of course, there's the famous show on Netflix that stars Henry Cavill of Superman fame as The Witcher. The interesting thing is, I forget the actor's name, the guy who plays the minstrel who goes with him, they're actually the same build and size, those 2 actors. There's a great article that my friend Maggie sent me where they show how the costuming makes them different sizes, even though they have the identical build. And now that's something, if you see that, you can't unsee it when you watch the show. I like the 2nd season much better than the 1st season. So hopefully it can only get better from there. It, of course, is not coming back for a long time because obviously Henry Cavill probably has other things to do. I know there's an animated spinoff, which I've seen, which was pretty good. And then there's a prequel series that they just announced that stars Michelle Yeoh, who in my mind can absolutely do no wrong. I'm a huge fan of Michelle Yeoh. Met her a couple times. She's not only a wonderful human being, but an amazing martial artist and actress. I know my daughter plays the video games. I don't really know much about them, other than the fact that she just complains often about how different it is from the TV show, and mostly it has to do with how old Siri is, which is one of the characters. I also find it funny that there is a character named Siri, because when I watch it, I'm always afraid my phone's going to go off. All right, so that's the prop. That is enough about that prop. Ooh, there's 2 pins, which might make up for the fact I wonder if one of these is last month's pin. Nope, they're the same. So they're not the same. They're obviously 2 pins, but they're the same topic. And this is Ant-Man. So what do we know about Ant-Man? This is comics, so you are now in my bailiwick. Ant-Man, I know, is created by Stan Lee, whose real name is Stanley Lieber, and his brother, Larry Lieber, with art by Jack the King Kirby. Interestingly, he wasn't originally a superhero, but Ant-Man first appeared in Tales to Astonish. I'm pretty sure it postdates the Fantastic Four, but it's pretty close. So it's like Fantastic Four, I think, comes out in 61, 62. And then this also comes out in 62. But it started as like one of the Tales to Astonish was a serial that had to do with, it was an anthology series that kind of dealt with sci-fi tales like, fantasy and mystery. And it was called The Man Under the Anthill or something like that, or The Man in the Anthill. And it was the story of Hank Pym, who shrinks himself down and has to escape. It's funny, there's a scene in the Ant-Man movie where the villain, Darren Crust, says that the concept of shrinking a human sounds like a Tales to Astonish. And then he shrinks the chair, which is the scene in The Man Under the Anthill. It's almost like a direct replica of the scene. This Ant-Man is Scott Lang, the one in the picture here, because it's the movie one. Scott Lang appears later in like April of 79. April. I don't know why I said April. I wonder if I'm right. That's weird. He first appeared in Avengers, but then he got his own tryout. They had a series book called Marvel Premiere, and some people got series and some people didn't. I don't know what issue it was. It's probably in the 30s or 40s or maybe even the 50s. I'm not sure. I think the 30s or the 40s. But he was a character who stole Hank Pym's suit to save his daughter, and then Hank Pym gave him his suit to rescue his daughter, and then he becomes Ant-Man. But the character, it wasn't a big hit, and so it didn't get picked up for its own series, it was like a tryout book. And that was created by David Michelin, Bob Layton, and drawn by the amazing John Byrne. Interesting, later Jessica Jones in the Alias series would end up dating him. I wonder if there's a relationship between them, given the involvement. What can I tell you about the movie? The laser sounds of the Yellow Jacket's suit in the movie, I know, is the same sound as the firing of the AT-ATs or AT-ATs in Star Wars. I had a big debate on how to pronounce that recently with someone. The scene in the beginning where Scott Lang gets his first job outside of prison and it's Baskin Robbins, that was originally supposed to be a Chipotle, but Chipotle thought it was too negative, and so they wouldn't give permission for it. Then it was a Jamba Juice, I think. They tried to get permission. And then eventually they thought, well, Baskin Robbins is good because the bright colors contrast the side. Michael Pena's in the movie. He plays Louis. Louis. And he is, he recaps the movie. I always thought, as much on Disney Plus, how they have a series that says Olaf Presents. I thought they should have Louis Presents, and they should have him recap every Marvel movie in his style. I thought that would be awesome. The other fun thing in the movie is the house that Hank Pym lives in is actually Hollowell Manor from the Charmed TV show, the earlier version of it. And then the last thing is there's a cab driver in there. I think his name's Garrett Morris. He's an old SNL actor who is actually played at a thing called like the Superhero Costume Party. He was the first live version of Ant-Man, so they decided to put him in the movie. Okay, so that's a lot about pins, but there are two of them, so that's good. I wonder if that's a BAM bonus. All right, next we have, well, that's funny. We usually have the art print next, but we actually go to the autograph. So I recognize the autograph. I can actually read her handwriting. This is Christina Loken. She is an actress. That is her in, she played Terminator 3, T3 in Terminator 3. Terminator 3 is something, Rise of the Machines, I think. I think it's Rise of the Machines. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. It had her. It had, obviously, Arnold, because he's in this picture. He's not the signature. And it also had, Claire Danes, and then the second John Connor, which is Nick Stahl played him. This was interesting because I remember this because this was the last movie Arnold Schwarzenegger starred in before becoming the governor of California. The original TX, which is her, I guess, T3, I think she's TX. I said it. I misspoke, but I think I misspoke correctly. She is the TX. So I think in the original script, I remember seeing some James Cameron was not happy with this movie. I remember seeing a panel somewhere where she was on it, probably for Burn Notice, where she said originally the TX was going to be a man and not a woman, and I think it was Vin Diesel was considered, and who else? Shaquille O'Neal, and I think DJ Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in talks to play the Terminator, but then they decided to go with her. It has that very awkward scene where she makes her breasts larger for the police. That scene took forever to film. I remember her saying that because something kept happening with the pump. As an actress, she is, I believe I met her on the set of Painkiller Jane. She's very nice. And I remember she also was in Burn Notice. And what else? She was in Mortal Kombat. I remember that. She was in the TV show, not any of the movies. She played, I don't know who she played, but she was in the TV show. And then she played Blood Rain. She would play Blood Rain, the first Blood Rain movie. There's been a bunch of them. What else do I know about her? I'm trying to think what she said. Oh, I know. On the panel, she had mentioned that because she didn't have a lot of lines in this movie, the Terminator movie, she actually studied with a mime to perfect her body language. She also trained really hard and wanted to do all of her stunts, and then she trained so hard she actually injured herself. And so a stunt person had to do one of the scenes, and she was very upset because she had been practicing it. All right, but that is a very cool autograph, the Terminator 3 autograph. Okay, which now leads us to the print. Oh, that's neat. That is, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? I'm going to take it out of the plastic so you can see it. Because it's very shiny and very dark, which is very fitting because it is Batman. Yes, this is clearly the new Batman movie, so I will limit my comments to this. I actually just saw the new Batman movie a couple days ago. I really liked it. I loved Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I thought that was one of the best Selena Kyle's on film. And I liked Robert Pattinson as Batman. I was not crazy about Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, but I remember reading somewhere that they actually weren't going for the Bruce Wayne that we all know and love, where Bruce Wayne is the Playboy mask, but instead they were going for, well, what would it be like if somebody were Batman at night? And they were going more for like a Kurt Cobain kind of recluse. So I think he succeeded in that, if that's what they're going for. I think I just didn't like that version of Bruce Wayne, because I think Bruce Wayne, you know, in the comics allays a lot of suspicion by being the way that he is. Let's see what else. I know that I mentioned this in a prior one, that both Michelle Pfeiffer and Christian Bale had complaints about their costumes. And I know also that from the DC fandom that they had actually met with both Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson. And the advice they gave them was, make sure you have a suit where you can go to the bathroom during breaks. Like, that was the demand. That was their suggestion for playing the characters. And then what else can I tell you about this? I know Zoe Kravitz, who plays Catwoman. She also voices the Lego Catwoman. She had done it before that, so this is really her second Catwoman. I saw recently online, I thought it was funny that people had issue kind of with her race, but I'm not sure why, because we've already had Eartha Kitt, and we've had Halle Berry, and now we have Zoe Kravitz. I think she's a great Catwoman. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. Turning to the comic version of Batman, I know the movie is based on a couple of notable comic series. One is Batman Ego by the late great Darwin Cook, who also did The New Frontier. But I could clearly see the influence of that story. There was Year One by Frank Miller was another heavy influence. One of the subtle influences, and I don't know if this was intentional from Year One, but I thought it was interesting. There are scenes where Batman is out during the day, And I thought it's fascinating because he's never in his batsuit during the day. And there's a great line in year one where he says, "Shall I prepare the suit?" Alfred says, "Shall I prepare the suit, sir?" And Bruce goes, "Never in the day, Alfred. Never in the day." And they kept that going. They never used that line, but during the day, he's dressed much like he was in year one, and with a motorcycle helmet or a scarf hiding his identity. The last thing is the strong influence is the Batman, the Long Halloween, which I probably wouldn't have picked up except that I just saw the 2-part animated version of that. And so as a result, you could see a lot of similarities between the movie and the Long Halloween. Let's think. Anything else? I don't know. Oh, sorry. Long Halloween was written by Jeff Loeb. So we have Frank Miller does year one, and then Jeff Loeb. Interesting, I didn't see any Dark Knight Returns, which a lot of the recent Batman movies are taking from. But Frank Miller's year one is kind of there as well. I know one other really interesting thing, and that is, I don't remember the actor's name, but when you see the movie, if you've seen the movie, and I'm not spoiling anything, there is a scene where Batman beats up a bunch of thug kids, and one of them really kind of doesn't want to be there. I believe in the credits, he may be called hesitant gang member. That actor is the same actor who plays Tim Drake in the DC Titans TV show. So I don't know if maybe they're setting that up to be Tim Drake in a future movie, or if it was just a really cool Easter egg. And then the music, of course, is by Michael Giacchini. And it's funny because I had read, this isn't me being genius, I'd read this, that the notes are the same as the Imperial March. So that's kind of cool. They're just done at a different tempo to make the Batman theme. The other coincidence that I thought was interesting is, and this is just because I know behind the scenes stuff, is Peter Sarsgaard. He plays the district attorney, D.A. Coulson in the movie. Well, he's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal, who played the district attorney Rachel Dawes in the Christopher Nolan Batman. So there you go. You've got two people married to each other who can compare notes of what it's like to play a district attorney in a Batman movie. And I will not go any further than that lest I spoil anything about this. So I'm not going to say anything else other than that's kind of a cool art print. I do not recognize the signature, but that is it. So, okay. Let's see how I did. I think I did pretty good because everything is very obvious. More importantly, let's see how Bam did on the writing. All right, who is she? She is, I didn't even get this. In the Name of the King, they list her as, and Blood Rain and Terminator. So that's her, Christina Loken. And now here is what it is. Hey, they fixed the print so you can actually read it. It is no longer white on yellow. So we've got Christine Loken. What are the other prints? Let's see. I think we got the good one. The one in the middle is not bad, as her as a Terminator. But that's interesting. I'm curious whether or not, because BAM tends to have people sign things, if maybe in the game box there might be a Mortal Kombat one eventually. There's your two Ant-Mans. And then there's two prints for Batman. The other one's so dark I can't even make it out. And it's by Pharaoh Lauren, who I don't know. And then I was right, it is the Witcher, the Witch necklace from The Witcher. All right, so that is this month. I don't see like a giveaway. Although there's something, this is unique. It's a little BAM guy. But that is it for this month. It didn't take as much time as other months. I guess because February was a short month. If you're enjoying these, I guess, what do they say? Like it and comment. If I got anything wrong, which I doubt, let me know. If I misspoke, sometimes I misspeak because I am going stream of consciousness on a lot of this. Let me know, and I look forward to doing this again for the March box, which they claim is the best Geek box ever on their show. So enjoy. Bye-bye.